Gold. Just hearing the word brings to mind images of treasure, of kings and lost empires, you know? For thousands of years, this precious metal has truly fascinated humanity. It doesn't rust or tarnish, and it has this warm gleam, almost as if it captures the sun's own light. But gold, well, it's more than just a beautiful material. When it's shaped into a coin, it sort of transforms. It becomes a piece of history you can actually hold in your hand. Each coin, honestly, tells a story. It speaks about the ruler who minted it, the beliefs of the people who used it, and the journeys it made across deserts and oceans. These small golden discs are like time capsules. The land we now call Pakistan, it's got a story that's uniquely rich and complex. For millennia, it's been a crossroads of civilizations. Great armies have marched across its plains, and traders have carried silks and spices along its ancient roads. Every one of these groups left their mark, and quite often that mark was made in gold. The history of Pakistani gold coins, it's not just about money, really. It's the story of the country itself, a tale of clashing cultures, rising and falling dynasties, and the flow of ideas across the world. Following the trail of these coins is like walking back through time. Imagine, just for a moment, a farmer in a field near the Indus River. His plough hits something hard, and he reaches down to pull a small, glittering object from the earth. It's a gold coin, bearing the face of a king who lived 2,000 years ago. In that moment, the farmer is connected to a distant past. The coin might show a Greek god, a Buddhist symbol, or a verse from the Quran. Every detail is a clue, a piece of this grand puzzle. These coins aren't silent objects. They really do speak volumes to those who know how to listen. They tell us about art, religion, power, and the everyday lives of people long gone. For an American reader, it might be surprising to think of a single region having such a diverse history of currency. In the United States, the dollar has been the standard for a relatively short time. But in Pakistan, the story of coinage is a dizzying journey through different languages, scripts, and artistic styles. You'll see coins with Greek lettering, then Sanskrit, then Arabic, and finally English. This incredible variety, honestly, is a testament to the region's role as a meeting point for the great empires of Asia and Europe. It's a history written not in books, but in gleaming, enduring gold. Long before gold coins appeared, great cities thrived in the Indus Valley. Places like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were the centers of a pretty sophisticated civilization about 4,500 years ago. These people had writing, trade, and even standardized weights and measures. But you know, we haven't found any evidence that they used coins. Their trade was probably based on barter, exchanging goods like grain, pottery, and beads directly. The whole idea of money as small, marked pieces of metal representing a set value hadn't arrived in this part of the world just yet. The age of currency was still waiting to be born. The first coins to show up in the Indian subcontinent weren't gold, they were silver. Around the 6th century BCE, small kingdoms and republics called the Mahajanapadas started making what we now call punch-marked coins. These weren't perfectly round like modern coins. Instead, they were irregular pieces of silver, stamped with all sorts of symbols. Each mark might represent a different ruler, a guild of merchants, or maybe a specific region. These simple marks were really the first step towards a true monetary system. They were a promise, a guarantee of weight and purity, which made trade easier and more efficient as kingdoms grew. The concept of using gold as currency came in with invaders from the West. The Achaemenid Empire of Persia, under rulers like Darius the Great, expanded its reach into the Indus Valley around 518 BCE. The Persians had a pretty advanced coinage system. They minted a famous gold coin called the darik, which usually showed the Persian king holding a bow and arrow. Even though Persian dariks weren't minted in the Indus Valley itself, they were definitely used there. They circulated through trade and as payment for soldiers, introducing the revolutionary idea of a standardized, high-value gold coin to the region. this was a pivotal moment. The introduction of gold coins changed everything. Silver was for everyday transactions, but gold was for grand purposes, paying armies, funding the construction of magnificent temples, and hoarding wealth. Gold represented ultimate power and prestige. The arrival of the Persian Darik set the stage for the next great chapter in the region's history. It planted a seed that would soon blossom when a new conqueror from the west arrived. A young man from Macedonia with dreams of conquering the entire known world, Alexander the Great. In 326 BCE, Alexander the Great led his formidable Greek army across the Hindu Kush mountains and into the plains of what is now Pakistan. His campaign was swift and, honestly, pretty brutal. But it wasn't just about conquest. Alexander brought with him Greek culture, art, and ideas. One of the most lasting introductions was the Greek style of coinage. The coins minted under Alexander and his successors were really something new for the region. They were works of art, showing realistic portraits of rulers on one side and detailed images of Greek gods and goddesses on the other. These new coins were absolutely revolutionary. The Persian Darik had a symbolic image of a king, but the Greek coins showed the actual face of the ruler. This was a powerful statement, putting a human face on power and creating a direct link between the king and his currency. After Alexander's death, his vast empire was divided among his generals. In the east, this led to the rise of the Greco-Bactrian and Indo-Greek kingdoms. These rulers, who were of Greek descent, governed parts of modern-day Afghanistan and Pakistan for almost 2 centuries, and their coins tell a fascinating story of cultural fusion. The Indo-Greek kings kept up the tradition of minting beautiful gold coins, known as staters. At first, these coins were purely Greek in style. Portraits of kings wearing helmets or royal diadems, with Greek deities like Zeus, Apollo, or Heracles on the reverse, and inscriptions entirely in Greek. But as these kings ruled over a local population for generations, their coins began to change. They started to absorb local influences, which was a clear sign that the rulers were adapting to their new home and the cultures they governed. This blending of cultures is what really makes their coinage so unique. For an American audience, a surprising parallel might be the E pluribus unum motto on US coins, meaning, out of many, one. The Indo-Greek coins show a similar story, but visually. We start to see bilingual coins, with Greek text on one side and a local Indian script, like Harosthi, on the other. The deities also began to merge. Kings who were once shown with Heracles might later be depicted with imagery that locals could also relate to. These coins became a bridge between two worlds, a beautiful testament to the meeting of East and West in ancient Pakistan. After the fall of the Indo-Greeks, a new power rose to dominate the region, the Kushan Empire. Coming from Central Asia, the Kushans built a vast empire around the 1st century CE that stretched from modern-day Tajikistan all the way to the Ganges River in India, with its heartland in what is now Pakistan and Afghanistan. The Kushans controlled the Silk Road, that ancient network of trade routes connecting China with the Roman Empire. This made them incredibly wealthy, and they showed off this wealth through a stunning and diverse collection of gold coins. The Kushan period is often called a golden age for coinage in the region. Their most famous gold coin was the dinar, which was modeled on the weight standard of the Roman gold aureus. This was honestly a brilliant move. By making their coins the same weight as Roman coins, the Kushans made international trade incredibly easy. A merchant in Rome could accept a Kushan dinar with confidence, knowing exactly what it was worth. This decision really shows how connected the world was, even 2,000 years ago. The Kushan Empire was a global hub, and its currency reflected that. What makes Kushan coins truly fascinating is the amazing variety of gods and goddesses depicted on them. They're a perfect reflection of the empire's multicultural and tolerant nature. We find Greek deities like Helios, the sun god, Persian gods such as Mithra, and, most significantly, some of the earliest numismatic representations of Buddhist figures, including the Buddha himself, and Hindu gods like Shiva. The Kushan kings didn't force a single religion. Instead, they honored all the faiths practiced by their subjects on their most valuable currency. The most famous Kushan king, Kanishka the Great, produced a stunning variety of gold coins. One side always had a standing portrait of the king, often shown sacrificing at a fire altar. The other side would feature one of many different deities, with their name written in the Greek script, which the Kushans had adopted for their language. Imagine finding a coin from this era. It could have a Zoroastrian fire god, a Greek sun god, or the Buddha. Each coin is a window into the rich, syncretic culture of the Kushan Empire, a true melting pot of ancient civilizations. The arrival of Islam in the subcontinent, beginning with the Arab general Muhammad bin Qasim's conquest of Sindh in 712 CE, marked a profound turning point in the region's history and its coinage. The principles of Islamic art and theology brought a dramatic shift in how coins were designed. Islam discourages the depiction of living beings, a practice known as aniconism. As a result, the portraits of kings and the images of gods that had defined coinage for 1,000 years suddenly vanished. They were replaced by something new, the elegant beauty of the written word. The gold coins, now called dinars, became carriers of faith and political statements. Instead of a ruler's face, the coins were now covered in intricate Arabic calligraphy. Typically, one side would feature the kalima, the Islamic declaration of faith. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. The other side would often name the ruling caliph, the mint location, and the year the coin was made according to the Islamic Hijri calendar. This was a radical change. The coin was no longer a personal portrait of power, but a declaration of submission to God and allegiance to the wider Islamic community, the Ummah. This new style was adopted by the successive Islamic dynasties that ruled over parts of Pakistan, including the Ghaznavids and the Ghurids. The Ghaznavid ruler, Mahmud of Ghazni, famous for his campaigns into India, issued bilingual coins for a time. These remarkable coins had the Islamic declaration in Arabic on one side, and on the other, a translation of it written in Sanskrit, the ancient language of India. This was a practical measure to ensure his new subjects could understand the message on their money. It was also a powerful symbol of a new Islamic power, establishing itself in a predominantly Hindu land. This aniconic calligraphic style would dominate coinage in the region for centuries. The coin became a medium for spreading the word of God. Every transaction, every payment, involved passing a coin that carried the core tenets of the Islamic faith. For people in the West, accustomed to seeing faces on their currency, the idea of a coin filled only with text might seem strange. But in the Islamic world, calligraphy is the highest art form. These gold dinars were not just money. They were miniature masterpieces of design and devotion, spreading a message of faith with every exchange. In the 16th century, a new dynasty of Turco-Mongol origin, the Mughals, swept into the Indian subcontinent. They would go on to build one of the most powerful and dazzling empires in world history. The Mughals were renowned for their love of art, architecture, and luxury, and this was magnificently reflected in their coinage. The Mughal gold coin, known as the mohur, was a symbol of the empire's immense wealth and artistic refinement. Under emperors like Akbar, Jahangir, and Shah Jahan, the minting of gold coins reached an unprecedented level of beauty and complexity. Emperor Akbar the Great was a revolutionary thinker. He was interested in all religions and even tried to create a syncretic faith of his own. His coins reflect this open-mindedness. While many of his gold mohurs followed the traditional Islamic calligraphic style, he also issued coins with symbolic imagery. Some featured a duck, representing good fortune, or a hawk. His famous Ilahi coins were dated to his new divine era and bore philosophical inscriptions like Allahu Akbar, which could be interpreted as God is great or Akbar is God, a clever play on his own name. The reign of his son, Jahangir, is perhaps the high point of Mughal numismatic art. Jahangir had a passion for novelty and portraiture. In a bold departure from Islamic tradition, he issued a series of stunning portrait mohurs. These coins showed the emperor seated on a throne, holding a wine cup or a flower. Even more famous were his zodiac mohurs. Instead of the usual inscriptions, these gold coins featured the 12 signs of the zodiac, from Aries, the ram, to Pisces, the fish. These coins are incredibly rare and are considered among the most beautiful coins ever minted anywhere in the world. The last of the great Mughals, Aurangzeb, was a devout and austere Muslim. He immediately put a stop to the artistic excesses of his predecessors. He banned the use of the kalima on coins, arguing that the sacred words could be defiled when handled by non-believers or in unclean places. He also ended the practice of portrait and zodiac coins, returning to a purely calligraphic style. The coins of Aurangzeb are uniform and well-made, but they lack the artistic flair of Jahangir's reign. The shift in coinage perfectly mirrors the shift in imperial ideology, from the liberal and artistic to the orthodox and rigid. As the Mughal Empire weakened in the 18th and 19th centuries, a new power was rising: the British East India Company. Initially a trading entity, the company grew to become the dominant political and military force in the subcontinent. This transfer of power is clearly visible in the coinage. At first, the company issued coins in the name of the Mughal emperor to ensure they were accepted by the local population. These coins looked Mughal, but they were a sign of a new reality. The power behind the throne was no longer in Delhi, but in London. By 1835, the pretense was dropped. The British introduced a new, uniform coinage across their territories. The Mughal emperor's name was removed and replaced with the portrait of the British monarch, first King William IV and later Queen Victoria. This was a hugely significant moment. For the first time in centuries, a human portrait returned to the mainstream coinage of the region. The gold mohur now featured the face of a distant European queen. The script changed from the flowing Persian and Arabic to the stark, clear letters of English. The coin was a clear and unambiguous statement of colonial rule. This shift was not just cosmetic. The British mechanized the minting process, producing coins that were perfectly uniform in shape, weight, and design. The old, hand-struck coins, with their charming irregularities, were gone. The new coins were a product of the Industrial Revolution. They represented order, standardization, and the power of a global empire. The gold mohur, once a symbol of Mughal grandeur, was now an instrument of British imperial control, tying the economy of the subcontinent directly to the British pound sterling. This system continued until the end of the British Raj in 1947. The partition of the subcontinent and the creation of the independent state of Pakistan marked the end of one era and the beginning of another. The portraits of British monarchs were no longer acceptable on the currency of a newly sovereign nation. Pakistan had to forge its own identity, and that included creating its own coins. The long and complex history of gold coinage in the land was about to enter a new and distinctly Pakistani chapter, free from foreign rulers for the first time in centuries. On August 14, 1947, Pakistan was born. The new nation faced immense challenges, including the need to establish its own currency. In the very beginning, Pakistan continued to use British Indian coins and notes, but with a Pakistan stamp overprinted on them. This was a temporary measure. By 1948, Pakistan began issuing its own coins. The imagery chosen for these first coins was carefully selected to represent the identity of the new country. The portrait of the British king was gone, replaced by symbols that spoke to Pakistan's Islamic heritage and national aspirations. The design of modern Pakistani coins features the crescent moon and star, a powerful symbol of Islam and a central feature of the national flag. The other side often showcases the tufra, an elegant calligraphic monogram that was historically used by Ottoman sultans. In Pakistan's case, it artfully spells out Hukumat-i-Pakistan, or Government of Pakistan. The inscriptions are in Urdu, the national language. These design choices were a deliberate break from the colonial past and a reconnection with a deeper Islamic artistic tradition, echoing the calligraphic coins of centuries past. While Pakistan issues regular currency for circulation, it has also minted special commemorative gold coins to mark significant occasions. These are not for everyday use, but are created for collectors and to honor important moments in the nation's history. For example, gold coins have been issued to celebrate the birth centenary of the nation's founder, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, or to commemorate the Islamic Summit Conference held in Lahore in 1974. These special issues continue the ancient tradition of using gold to signify moments of great national pride and importance. Interestingly, for a country with such a rich history of gold currency, Pakistan does not have a circulating gold coin today. Like most modern economies, its daily transactions are handled by paper money and base metal coins. The gold coins that are produced are non-circulating legal tender, meant for the collector's market or as a store of value. This marks a shift from a time when gold was money to the present day, where gold is a special asset, a hedge against economic uncertainty, and a tangible link to a glorious and complex past. Today, in the bustling bazaars of Lahore or Karachi, the legacy of gold is alive and well. While gold coins are not used for daily shopping, gold itself remains incredibly important in Pakistani culture. It is the ultimate store of value, a safe haven during times of economic instability. Families invest their savings in gold, often in the form of jewelry or bullion bars. This tradition is deeply rooted in the historical experience of the region. For thousands of years, empires have risen and fallen, and currencies have come and gone, but the intrinsic value of gold has remained constant. For many Pakistanis, gold is a vital part of life's biggest celebrations, especially weddings. A bride's family traditionally gives her gold jewelry as part of her dowry. This is not just for adornment. It is a form of financial security that belongs to her. This practice connects modern families to ancient traditions, where gold represented wealth, status, and security for the future. The clinking of gold bangles at a wedding is a sound that echoes through the centuries, a reminder of the metal's enduring social and cultural significance in the subcontinent. The historical gold coins themselves are a source of immense national pride. They are treasures of the nation's museums, like the Lahore Museum, where they tell the story of Pakistan's rich, multicultural heritage. The Greek portraits, the Kushan deities, the Mughal calligraphy, all these different coins are embraced as part of a single, continuous history. They are proof that Pakistan has always been a place where different cultures met, mingled, and created something new. They are a powerful counter-narrative to simplistic views of the country's history. Ultimately, the story of Pakistani gold coins is the story of human connection. It shows us that no culture exists in isolation. It reminds us that for millennia, people in this land have been connected to the wider world through trade, conquest, and the exchange of ideas. A Roman merchant using a Kushan dinar, a Ghaznavid ruler translating his faith into Sanskrit, a Mughal emperor putting a zodiac sign on a mohur. These are all stories of a shared human experience, captured in small, shining discs of gold. They are not just relics of the past, they are a lesson for the future.